So this could all be fake for sure, but I still thought it was interesting to at least take a look at this potential new Assassin's Creed leak for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because leaks like this have turned out to be at least partly true in the past. So if you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. So we got this very interesting 4chan post outlining a lot of info on the potential new Assassin's Creed game called Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So again, everything is not confirmed, it's all a rumor, it could all be fake for sure, but this would not be the first time that a lot of info on a new Assassin's Creed game was leaked through 4chan. For example, last year we got a similar blowout for Assassin's Creed Origins, and it turned out that some of the things that were noted were true, like having an eagle that you could use to scout, having more active combat where enemies would try to flank you, and also that using a hidden blade required losing a finger. So maybe when we see the new Assassin's Creed game probably at E3 on either June 10th or June 11th, so during the Microsoft conference or during the Ubisoft conference, we can then look back at this leak and see that there are maybe some similarities. We also got this off-screen shot the poster posted alongside the leaked info. So this is supposed to be a shot of the map of the new game that shows the region of Attica. Because yes, just like recent rumors, this new game is supposed to be set in ancient Greece, and the region of Attica is also where Athens, of course, the largest city of Greece, is set. And this region should be part of one of the 3 Roman states, and this one is the Roman state of Achaia. We also see the name Cyclades, and I hope I pronounced that right, and that is an island group in the Aegean Sea. And if we compare this shot with a real world map, you do see that the shapes match, and that we also have the island group, of course, under it. But of course the leaker knows that as well, so he could also have like toyed around with the shapes, because it does look a lot like the Origins map with the yellow mountains, but maybe that is just a placeholder. I do see them like change the map up a bit, otherwise you have a lot of similarities, or again this picture could be fake. Again, nothing is confirmed. So let's look at some basic info from this leak. So according to this leak, it takes place in Greece during the Flavian dynasty. So according to Wikipedia, that would be 69 years after the death of Christ, so more than 100 years after Origins. So yes, no Bayek or Aya in this game, but they should have an impact on the story, just like Altair had on Assassin's Creed 2, as noted by the leaker as well. Now in this game there would be 2 new playable characters, but you can only play 1 per playthrough. They do have intersecting but different stories, different form of eagle vision, and also skills. So it was then also noted that this means that New Game Plus would not return, since players cannot carry over anything between characters. So this probably means that if you are one of the 2 playable characters and want to start the game over but keep all your gear but play with a different character, then that is not possible. But why would it not be possible if you just stayed the same character but still would replay the game? I don't see why New Game Plus would not fit. It is noted though that replayable missions would be coming back and the option to reset locations. But yeah, even if this is true and we do have 2 playable characters with different skills and a slightly different story, it makes it already way more replayable than Origins ever was. And I think that this is a great way to add even more playtime to an already big game, so I really hope that this is true. The leaked information notes that we would get Unity style customization with massive improvements. So if you're not familiar, this is way deeper than in Origins, and in this new Assassin's Creed Odyssey game it should go even further. So different gear pieces, but also color changes for your robes, torso, arms, boots and belt, and that would be purely cosmetic, of course. Also interesting to note is that this game should be made by the Assassin's Creed Unity team, so it would make sense that they are then improving their own systems, and that would mean that this game could be in development for 4 years now, since Unity of course launched at the end of 2014, so that would mean that they have the same amount of development time as Assassin's Creed Origins, and I would imagine that a lot of other Ubisoft studios are also helping with this game, just like we saw with Origins as well. So I know a lot of people are saying, whoa, releasing a new Assassin's Creed game this year would be too soon, but if this game was in development for 4 years already, we could expect the same amount of quality as Origins as well. According to the leak, social stealth is set to return, so blending in with the crowd, and they did not do this in Origins because it would not make a lot of sense, because Bayek is more a soldier than an assassin, so having him blend in with the crowd and alone using a big axe would not really work. Well, in this new game you should blend in with the crowd again, individuals, mounts and also static objects, and that most of them make you do a special animation that you could have seen in the Discovery Tour as well. So you will interact with the world as if you are a worker, for example. And that would totally be a nice evolution of this system for sure. A disguise system should also be in place similar to Unity. I know a lot of people want this, and the leak notes that the Brotherhood system is coming back. So we already saw it a little bit in Origins, where in the Hidden Ones DLC you could recruit members, but they would follow you around and that was it. No, now you should recruit new crewmates. Naval Combat is supposed to be huge in this new game. More on that a little later. So you can buy other factions, recruit Brotherhood members, and most Brotherhood members will appear on your ship or in your hideout. And this one is interesting. So some members are recruited through special missions, while you get most of them through random encounters or while liberating regions and states. So that sounds pretty deep and also cool if you ask me. So liberating regions is supposed to be a big part of this game, and if this is true, it would really follow the same blueprint as Far Cry 5 and Ghost Recon Wildlands, of course other Ubisoft games. So you have these states that you can liberate, and there's one main villain, but in order to reach that main guy you would have to kill other targets first. The report notes that you don't have to kill all the targets to get to the final boss, just like in Wildlands as well. And the leak also suggests that the two playable characters could have different targets, but that the main guy is the same, and that is also where the stories intersect. Also, if you liberate a region, you can then renovate shops and purchase landmarks, which will generate income, and that should be useful for the upgrades that will become more expensive later on in the game. Think about your ship and crew and stuff like that. The map should include Aegea, Macedonia, Ypres, Thrace, and the Aegean and Ionian Sea. The whole map should be split in 3 sections, with each Roman state divided into several regions as well. So going back to the map, that could be that this is one state with several regions in it. But also water should be a big part, because naval is supposed to be back and big. There should be a fleet system implanted where players can give commands to AI ships that can be ordered to sail with you. Some missions and optional battles will be fleet based rather than single ship on ship, and you have the option to upgrade your fleet ship with resources and money as well. There should also be a lot of cosmetic things you can change about your ship, like flags, sails, paint, crew customization, emblem customization, and shanties. So I first was not sure what this was, so I looked it up, and those are songs that your crew can sing. And that's pretty cool. And I don't know, but that sounds like something that is hard to come up with for this leaker. So it's mentioned that some of these crew outfits, emblems, flags, sails, and shanties will be available in the store as well. So not sure if the leaker means the Helix store or a store you can visit inside the game, but I totally think that having many customization options in this Assassin's Creed game totally opens up a ton of possibilities for microtransactions, sadly. But let's be honest here, it would be a logic step for Ubisoft for sure. Just like overall, this leaked info sounds like a game with way more stuff to do, more replayability thanks to the different characters, and I totally think that that would make sense for a next game in this series, since Origins kind of lacked deep systems and did not have a lot of layers. Not weird for a reinvention of the franchise, but it would make sense that a new game would take it a little bit further as well. And that would also make sure that people have way more stuff to do in the game while we wait for the inevitable expansions that will come. While now with Origins it was like, okay, the game released at the end of October, then November you were still playing, in December you were kind of like, okay, I'm running out of things to do, if you were really of course hardcore into the game. While with this new game it sounds like they want to double the playtime because of a different character, so if you are really into this new Assassin's Creed game you will totally replay it with the other character as well. They have way more different activities you can partake in, and if they then add the same sort of post-launch strategy, you will have way more things to do. You will be playing this game for way longer, and in the end And that is what Ubisoft wants at this point, that you are way more invested in their games for a way longer time after the game released. Other things that are noted is that the weapon wheel would return. Also that the return of smoke bombs would be in the game, but they never left. They were of course in Origins. But I think the leaker means like in the crazy sense, because it's noted that the crafting system is way bigger than it ever was, and it also lines up with the survey Ubisoft sent out after Origins regarding new RPG systems. So what this leak notes is that you can upgrade health, stealth, damage from range and melee, ammo quantities, and also weapons. And all upgrades take materials and some money, so really similar to Origins. Weapons can be upgraded at any time at the blacksmith, so again like Origins, but new is that it can be brought up in rarity, along with having different element stats tackled onto it, including sleep, bleed, health drain, poison, flame, frost, so that would be new, and shock would be new as well. And of course you would imagine that if this turns out to be real, it is very exciting for me as someone who loves to talk about the weapons in Assassin's Creed Origins, so I'm of course totally for a way deeper system. So going back to the bombs, they should be constructed again, allowing for creation of distraction bombs, stun bombs and lethal bombs. Most consumables can be crafted as well, including throwing knives, berserk darts, sleep darts and arrows. So apart from the sort of weapon crafting and bomb crafting, it sounds a little bit like Origins, this crafting system. It is noted that we would be able to fight mythical beasts and have legendary ship battles. I mean, sounds reasonable looking at the giant snake in Origins, of course. Modern day gameplay exists, but it isn't too much more than Origins. And if this is indeed true, I totally expected that this would be the case, because it really seems like they want to make sure that every Assassin's Creed game is a great entry point for people. So to have this overarching story between all the games would be like a big turnoff for people that are not familiar with that story. So that's why I really think they kind of want to shy away from that, so they can in the end sell more copies and make more money. So the last thing I want to talk about is the holiday 2018 release date that is noted in this leak, so probably October or November this year, just like any other Assassin's Creed game. And if you watched my previous video, then you know that I think it makes a lot of sense that Ubisoft wants to release a new Assassin's Creed game this year. During E3, so 3 weeks from now, Ubisoft will announce one franchise title that is set to launch before April 2019. And doing some quick math, it is set to sell 6 to 7 million units before April 2019 as well. And looking at the Walmart leak that put up a ton of E3 games, including Assassin's Creed, I totally think that we will see Assassin's Creed this year over a new Splinter Cell game. But yeah, again, everything is a rumor at this point. This could all turn out to be fake. This does line up with another 4chan rumor we had, and here an insider on the forum Reset Era noted that there is accurate information here, but also lies. And this guy is an insider because he leaked the date for a Nintendo Direct that turned out to be true. And this leak also noted the Vlavian Dynasty, 2 playable characters, and that social stealth would return, and that there would be more customization options. But either way, I love doing Assassin's Creed videos, and I thought it was interesting to at least discuss this, so we can also look back after the announcement and see if this was like real or not. Like I said, it happened before, but it could all be fake as well. Let me know what you think, by the way, in the comments down below. So I don't think we have to wait long for an announcement of this new Assassin's Creed game. On June 10th, Microsoft will do their show, and last year Assassin's Creed Origins was announced there, or it could be the day after that during the Ubisoft press conference. Remember also that Origins merchandise started to leak before E3. It already showed up in a GameStop, and if Ubisoft will indeed go aggressive with a new title this year, I think we will hear those rumblings soon as well, because that Origins merchandise was leaked at the end of May. But anyway, I will let you know whenever we hear more, and I will be going to E3 as well to bring you footage of this potential new Assassin's Creed game if it's indeed there. So super exciting times. Subscribe if you haven't already to miss nothing. Drop a like to support the channel. Totally check out my very in-depth video on why a new Assassin's Creed game in 2018 makes sense. And I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.